2 days ago, I finally finished reading a book that I've been on for about a week now. It's a science fiction book and it's called The Kraken Wakes, and it's written by John Wyndham, who is also the author of The Day of the Triffids. But the book that I'm going to be reviewing today is The Kraken Wakes. Now, I don't have a paperback version, so this is the cover, at least on my Kindle. Okay, so hopefully you can see it. Okay, yep, so that's the cover on the Kindle. I don't have the paperback version. It was I got it on the Kindle a couple of years ago. At my last place of work, there was a lady there who had thousands of science fiction books, and she found out that I like sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, those sorts of things, and so she gave me her stash. And like I mentioned in older videos, I wasn't really into reading for entertainment. I would only read for information. So these books have been with me basically for the last I don't know, maybe like 9 years, and I've only just started reading them now that I'm trying to learn how to relax a bit and slow things down. Okay, so let me get on to the book, The Kraken Wakes by John Wyndham. It's a book that was written in 1953. It's a science fiction. It's a science fiction book. It's about an Earth invasion, but this one, it's not the typical thing that you're used to. For those of us who like American science fiction movies, so there are no flying saucers or things like that. But even though it's an Earth invasion story, I think the main themes, the main issues that it deals with are the nature of government, what the obligations of governments are towards its citizens, and how sometimes bureaucracy and politicking can get in the way of governments dealing swiftly whenever people in their country are facing threats or facing annihilation. So that's one of the themes of the book. But one of the parts of the book that I found most interesting, and it seemed kind of prescient, was the idea of the melting ice caps, because the aliens who are coming to take over the Earth. Okay, another thing in the book, it doesn't make it clear whether the Earth is being invaded from aliens from outer space, excuse me, or if it's just organisms that have already been living in the sea for millions of years who are just finally now trying to take a run at conquering the globe. So anyway, one of the weapons that they employ is to try and melt the ice caps and get sea levels to rise, and basically drown us to oblivion so they can take over the Earth. Now, like I said, this book was written in 1953, before global warming was a household word. So it just seems kind of prescient, and it also buys into all the doomsday theories that people put out there about rising sea levels and things like that. So I think that it's an interesting read for those reasons. But I have to give a caveat. If you're used to, and if you prefer fast-paced American science fiction type movies with explosions and things like that, then this might not be the book for you, because it's very the protagonist in the story is British, and it's a very slow paced read. So if you like stuff, if you like fast and explosive stuff, then this isn't the book for you. And then there are also folks like my wife who do not like science fiction that involves science fiction that has lots of aliens in it. Like, she complained about the character Chewbacca in Star Wars. So if you're also someone who has issues with things like that, then this would be an interesting read, because the driving force of the story excuse me, the driving force of the story is not the alien attack, but the human beings, how they interact with each other, how they're trying to survive, how they're trying to have hope, and how they're trying to save themselves and save the species overall. So once again, the book is The Kraken Wakes. It's written by John Wyndham. It's possible that you might find the book under another title, Out of the Deep. I think that was the title under which it was released in America. So that's my book review for the day. The book is written in 1953. John Wyndham, The Kraken Wakes.